Hello everyone, I am Amreen and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. Today the topic under discussion is Indo Pacific region, and in our previous videos for this topic we have discussed the areas that comes under this term Indo Pacific and why this region is so important in the global politics. We have also discussed the competition and cooperation that is going on in Indian Ocean region, and in our previous video we have discussed the competition and conflicts going on in Pacific Ocean region, especially focusing on South China Sea. Now in this video we are going to discuss the cooperation and the alliances, the agreements and partnerships going on in Pacific Ocean region. So basically, in order to counter Chinese hegemony or Chinese influence in Pacific Ocean region, America is trying to make more and more friends in the region. And an important agreement that was signed between the Indo-Pacific nations, that was Trans-Pacific Partnership. Trans-Pacific Partnership was signed in February 2016, and it was basically a multilateral free trade agreement according to which these partners or these Indo-Pacific nations, they agreed to cooperate with one another and to conduct a free trade among each other. So these Trans-Pacific partners, they counted for 40% of global GDP. Now, GDP is basically gross domestic products, and gross domestic products is a monetary value for the goods and services produced within a state. So when we say that TPP partners yielded 40% of global GDP, it means that these states, they yielded goods and services that costed about 40% of global GDP. So after US withdrew from this Trans-Pacific partnerships, the remaining 11 Indo-Pacific states, they signed another agreement in March 2018 that was named as Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. So basically, after US withdrawal, there remains 11 states, and again, despite of the fact that US is no longer a member of this agreement is one of the largest free trade agreements in the world, and it yields about 14% of global GDP. So we see that about $14 trillion are the economic output of CPTPP, that is Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. Another important agreement or another important partnership in Pacific Ocean region is the Quad Group. The Quad Group is a military or economic cooperation between Australia, Japan, US and India. So these four states, they are conducting different naval exercises and they are cooperating with one another in multiple sectors. And another alliance here is JESIP. JESIP is basically Japan-India Security and Cooperation Partnership, and according to this agreement, both states agreed to cooperate with one another in defense and economic sectors. One more agreement is signed in Pacific Ocean region, that is India-Vietnam Defense Pact. Again, both the states, India and Vietnam, they agreed and they signed an agreement or a pact in which they agreed to cooperate in military and economic cooperation. Now, if we talk about the regional intergovernmental organizations working in this Pacific Ocean region, the most effective and influential one is ASEAN. ASEAN is basically Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and it has 10 member states, and it was founded in 1967. So ASEAN presented so good model of regional cooperation that different other organizations or different other regional intergovernmental organizations were established or were signed or were formed on the model of ASEAN. So collectively, these ASEAN nations, they yield about 24% of global GDP. Another important organization or another important partnership in this region is RCEP. RCEP is basically Regional Comprehensive economic partnership, and this partnership is between ASEAN nation and their 6 free trade agreement partners, that are Australia, China, Japan, Korea and New Zealand. So the basic objective of RCEP is to achieve a modern, comprehensive and mutually beneficial partnership and to cooperate with one another in multiple sectors. And another important partnership in this Pacific Ocean region is Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, that is known as APEC. So APEC was established in 1989. Again, it is a regional forum and it focuses on the cooperation in multiple sectors. It has 21 member states and it aims to gain greater prosperity by accelerating regional and economic integration. So we have also discussed how the US and China, along with their allies, they are conducting or they have been conducting naval exercises in Pacific Ocean region. Now this is all about the cooperation in Pacific Ocean region. Up till now we have discussed the importance of Indo-Pacific Ocean, the areas covered by this term Indo-Pacific region, and why this region is so important, how the global politics has shifted its focus from Western sphere to Indo-Pacific region, and what kind of politics, what kind of competition, what conflicts are going on in Indo-Pacific region, and what cooperations, what partnerships and alliances they are going on in Indo-Pacific region, and how two global powers, that are the US and China, they are competing so hard in order to maintain and in order to override each other's hegemony in Indo-Pacific region. Because again, the writers, they say that the global politics, the future of global politics or the destiny of the world would be decided by its water, and specifically in the Indo-Pacific Ocean region. Thank you so much.